So much politics to talk about, though. Tonight, we are going to turn things over to J.R. Berry for Insiders.
It is time now to bring in our State House insiders. Antoine Seawright, our Democratic strategist, and Dave Wilson, our Republican strategist. Nikki Setzler, senator from over in Lexington County, the longtime Democrat, 48 years of seniority. He did not seek re-election. Also, Katrina Shealy, 12 years of seniority, the Republican in Lexington County, both of them out of the Senate when they reconvene in January. What does this mean for Lexington County, Antoine?
Well, as you know, I grew up in Lexington County. I'm 39 years old, and Nikki Setzler has been my family's state senator for 48 years. And so Nikki is more than just a senator; he's like family. And as I said yesterday, he is by far the most consequential and arguably the most effective state senator to ever serve our state. And certainly, it's not just a loss to Lexington County; it's a loss to South Carolina. His work of bringing people together and being a true bridge builder and a connector on issues that may not always find higher ground, but where there was not higher ground, there was common ground. Nikki Setzler was the person to fill in that gap. And so it's a tremendous loss. And certainly the loss of my dear friend Katrina Shealy, even though we're on different sides of the political aisle, I had so much respect for her body of work, whether it was Alzheimer's, whether it was children, whether it was domestic violence, that she and I once did an op-ed piece on. She was about the people's business. And it's unfortunate that her party has rejected this notion of having a difference of opinion on them. And that is the reason you do not return as an elected official.
But Dave, losing all that seniority now for one county, how will that impact Lexington and their residents at the State House?
What you're seeing right now is there will be other names that start to float to the top. There will be other folks from Lexington County who will step into those areas of leadership. What you're seeing more so, though, JR, is the fact that Lexington County has had this long-standing stalwart of leadership in Nikki Setzler, who for 48 years served in the state Senate, kind of has this whole bit of longevity and kind of the steady flow throughout everything that's gone on. His impact on education alone in the state of South Carolina has been so impactful, and the work that he's done on that, from everything from Read to Succeed to the expansion of 4K education in the state, has made a huge difference when it comes to what's happening in our schools in South Carolina. You pair that with Katrina Shealy, who has been doing massive work on reforms at DJJ, family and veterans affairs issues. The question is now, the center of power is going to be shifting to some other area of the state. Will it affect people in Lexington County directly? It'll be affecting people more of the state overall, because you're going to see that different people coming into different places of leadership now, and it's going to be its own different flavor when we get to the next session.
All right, we're about an hour and 50 minutes away from tonight's first presidential debate in Atlanta. Antoine, that's where you are at this hour in the spin room this evening. Tell me what you're expecting from the president and the former president.
Look, I expect Joe Biden to be Joe Biden. I'm so excited about him coming into this debate as certainly the most accomplished president in our lifetime, but in this case, the most experienced coming into tonight's debate. I don't think he can let the former president drive him into a personality conversation. He must stick to a policy conversation and less laying into what he's done, but also laying out the next 4 years of what this country should look like. Being a unifier, being a bridge builder, being all the things that Joe Biden has been throughout his career, that is going to break through on the stage tonight. But also what I know you're going to hear from the president tonight is a true indication of what the future will look like under 4 years of Donald Trump and the existential threat that Donald Trump is to this country.
This is a place, Antoine and I actually do agree. I think you've got Joe Biden, who has had a lot of experience on the stage, but there are stats that are coming out right now that 6 in 10 American voters are going to be watching this debate. Either they're going to be watching it live tonight or they're going to be watching the replays of it. Is that really going to impact how people vote? Keep in mind, Republicans are going to vote Republicans. Democrats are most likely going to vote Democrats. So how big is that middle right there? That 11 to 17% of people in America who don't really know which way they want to go yet on this. Will they be paying attention tonight? Will they actually say, okay, this is making a big difference? If you go back to Trump, Biden in 2020, that very first debate, that turned a lot of people off with the way that debate played itself out. I mean, it became middle school lunchroom tossing back and forth. And, that the blame for that lies where it lies. CNN is trying very hard tonight to create a very structured and guardrailed debate. And it's going to probably seem a little bit more like the Nixon-Kennedy debate of 1960, but we'll see how it plays itself out. But to Antoine's point, and I agree, this is a place where Donald Trump is going to do everything he can to get Joe Biden off of his game, to show that Joe Biden, from his standpoint, is not prepared to continue to lead in the White House.
Antoine, if some reports are correct, the president has a lot of one-liners he is set to use tonight at tonight's debate against the former president.
Well, you have very limited time on the debate stage to make your point. And so I think he has to define the moment very quickly, but also be in a position to push back against any lies that may come from the former president. And if lies is a bad word tonight, I'm sorry, I'll say disinformation. And so I think you're going to see the president be very simplified in his responses. I live by KISS, keep it simple, see right. And so I think you're going to see the president adopt some sort of model of that. If that means one line is fine, but I think he's going to get to the point of defining the moment very quickly so we can get a lot into tonight's conversation.
The question is more so, are those zingers going to actually be stingers? Are they going to be something that's going to hurt Donald Trump or not? Will they be actually debating policy and issues, or are they going to be debating personalities? And that's something to be watching out for tonight, JR.
All right. Dave, Antoine, guys, as always, thank you so very much. Of course, that debate happening at 9 o'clock tonight, and you can see it right here on News 19 WLTX.